What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
In today's video, we are doing part 3 of our 3-part series. Very exciting.
Yes.
I've enjoyed this series, Morgan. The series has been popular blank advice that we reject. And today's video is popular sex advice that we reject. Perhaps the most steamy crescendo to our 3-part series. If you haven't watched, I linked below part 1, popular dating advice that we reject, and then part 2, popular marriage advice that we reject. We're on to part 3. We are about to go there, and Morgan, I'll just be honest with you. Okay. I was as I was preparing for this video, looking back at some of our previous intimacy videos, and let's just say sometimes our videos on this topic garner quite the reaction.
Oh, yes. We love giving content for our haters. We love to make a good video that our, sex therapists can make and try and destroy. It's a good time. So, you guys are welcome.
We say sex therapist. Yeah.
Sex therapist.
Well, there's other YouTube channels that will react very negatively to some of our context, and
contrary to popular belief, I've never actually watched any of them.
Good for you.
On the other hand.
No, I watch few and far between. Well, I don't typically watch the whole thing.
All right,
come on.
Anywho, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We risk giving TMI
to help you navigate DMI, dating, marriage, and intimacy. Let's go. What was? Oh, I was just about to say something. Yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. I want to give a disclaimer, Morgan.
Yeah.
So real quick, guys, you all know the drill. We're talking about intimacy, sex. These are beautiful things to talk about, but we want to use discretion, and we want you all as the audience to use discretion. So if you are 15 years old, not even considering dating, and you're just super intrigued, okay, this might be okay to watch, but it may not if you have struggles and certain things, and you're just in your heart I don't know if I should be watching this. Then trust that discernment and hold off for a little while. We just want to give an appropriate cautionary disclaimer.
15, 30, whatever age you are.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes. Shout out to our patrons.
Yes.
We love you guys. You rock, for real. I was on Discord yesterday just chit-chatting with the patrons, and I was like, why? These guys are just great.
They're great. They're such a huge blessing.
Yes.
And Morgan, you were just saying,
yes,
we are formulating the idea that's becoming more and more concrete when we reach 400 patrons.
Yes. Paul will perform live on the street somewhere in downtown Lexington.
Or in Lexington.
Give a show.
A live show.
A
live musical show that we will broadcast for you guys. 400 patrons. All right, so the link to our Patreon is below.
Let's get to it. First one, just go.
Oh, I felt in my heart that I should clarify something from one of our previous videos on sex advice from a couple weeks ago. We do a number of these type of videos. We feel like this topic for married couples really is not talked about enough, talked about in a good way. Sex is something that's so beautiful, so powerful. It should be discussed and explored.
Yes.
But in a video, and I'm just going to read a comment, someone was not happy with me. I made a suggestion, and I said, guys, I would actually encourage you, if you're wanting to grow in a certain aspect of sex, I said, go to YouTube, type in what you're wanting to grow in, and learn about it. And so I saw a couple comments, but one person commented and said, I'm appalled you would recommend looking up sex acts on YouTube. You're essentially advising to view porn, and then they go on. And I just wanted to respond. You guys know where Morgan and I stand. Any of you who watch us regularly know. But I responded to this person and said, you're not correctly interpreting what I said. I'm saying I think there can be benefits in watching a video where a man or woman explains how to do a certain thing. Not two people actually doing it. Okay, I do not advocate watching the deed be done.
No.
Come on, guys. All right. No. Morgan, number 1, let's get going.
Yeah.
The first popular sex advice that we reject.
Yes.
I'm going to kick things off. I reject that. And I saw people advising this. You even brought this one up. Self-discovery. We'll just call it self-discovery, pleasing yourself. The popular advice is we should become experts at pleasing ourselves by practicing on ourselves, learning how we operate, what feels good by ourselves.
So that we can be better lovers and know what we like to tell our partners.
Yes, and we reject that.
Reject!
And here's where we reject it. And I told Morgan before this, I said, I think self-discovery, what feels good, how our bodies operate and work is a good thing when done with your spouse.
Right.
Bring them into the self-discovery process.
Right. It's not necessarily self-discovery when because you're including your partner and they're the ones that are doing things to you and you're learning about yourself, but you're not the one doing it to yourself. Yeah.
Well,
I
and
just think that's an absolutely ridiculous.
The topic of self-pleasure is a bigger topic. Maybe we'll go into it more, just like our thoughts on that. But we're mainly talking right here about just this idea that, oh, you need to be doing all this stuff to yourself. Listen, bring your spouse into it. Yeah. Learn, I like being touched this way. When you do this, it turns me on. Yeah. Get your spouse involved in the self-discovery. That's my first one.
There we go. Very good. All right. Next one for me that I reject is PORN, spelling for monetization reasons, will help you be a better lover. I've heard this before, and I think it's just so insane. First of all, there's a ton of research out there that proves that PORN is incredibly damaging to your brain, to your sexual desire. Comparison. It can cause literal erectile dysfunction. Okay? So, I mean, there's legit research out there showing that that's not true at all. Yet, magazines and Hollywood are pushing this, and yeah, so I don't even think I have to talk that much on it other than saying that's ridiculous.
Morgan, I would take it a step further in terms of, I saw some article advising that, but they were saying beyond just the PORN, just watch a steamy show or steamy movie together to kind of get your mind in that world, to get in the mood, show you what you can do, and it's kind of no. And they even listed shows. Bridgerton was one, which I've not seen Bridgerton, and I've heard that it's very explicit. Yeah. And so, guys, don't start justifying it. Oh, we're a Christian. We're not going to watch PORN, but we are going to watch all these explicit, steamy. No, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that.
Make your own Bridgerton, whatever.
What did you just say?
Make your own Bridgerton.
Make your own Bridgerton. You heard it here first. Hey, TMI for DMI, baby. TMI for DMI. All right, my next one I reject. Now we're going to, and we've said this in every what we reject video, part 1, 2, and now 3. Some of these are kind of targeting, exposing, pushing back on worldly cultural ideas, but some are in the Christian sphere as well. And we're going there. And I just want to say before I do my next one, guys, some of these genuinely, we're just giving our perspective. You can take them or leave them. Yeah. Seriously, you don't have to agree with everything. Comment and let us know your thoughts if maybe you disagree with one or the other. But here's one that I reject. I reject, and this is a Christian one, the idea among some Christians that sex shouldn't be wild and adventurous. It should stay minimal. And that, I literally was reading a comment where this person was like, I almost thought they were trolling, but it was like, sex should not be about, just really going after the pleasure of it, but just keep it minimal, keep it super quick, minimal, the basic. And I'm kind of no, I reject that.
That's so weird.
I reject that. There is, as Exo Marriage put it, Exo Marriage YouTube channel, there's a gate around the yard, and we need to know, according to the Bible, what that gate is, what God wants to protect, keep within the marriage bed, and what should not be allowed in the marriage bed. But then the yard inside that gate is very big, and there's a lot of room for adventure and beauty and powerful, blissful fun.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I mean, you guys might be like, what? No one actually thinks that. Christians don't think that. No, go read some of the comments on some of our videos. Like, literally, there are people who are like, you should not be having a good time having sex.
Okay, well, hopefully
or
that's
like,
not.
or the woman should not be being pleased, or that's not what sex is about, or blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
I think there's and
Like,
even
that does exist.
there and even among some Christian broader maybe denominations where it's like, no, sex isn't about pleasure. It's just about getting the deed done and babies. And it's like, read the Songs of Solomon, baby. Sex is pleasurable. That's one very good aspect of it. It's pleasurable. Come on.
All right. Next one is multiple partners before marriage doesn't hurt your marriage. I think that like we've heard the whole try before you buy stuff, blah blah blah. But yeah, just like it doesn't matter how many people you sleep with. Like whenever you get married, that's not gonna affect anything. And I think that you could probably talk to a lot of people who had, whether it was just one partner outside of their spouse or multiple partners outside of their spouse, like there were things that they've had to work through. Now, don't get me wrong, like God is a redeeming God, and for us, I had slept with someone besides Paul before getting married, and like he redeemed that completely, and really it was not even something that we had to work through. Like God was just really blessed that area. But I don't think that's like super common from the conversations that I've had with other women out there, and just like talking about the struggles that they've had, whether they were the one who had a partner before or multiple partners or their husband did. Like it can cause a lot of damage in marriage if you are just sleeping around and then you get married and you just think that that's not going to affect anything.
Yeah.
So be careful.
That's a good one. That's a cultural, worldly one. Yeah, that we reject.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Morgan, this one I reject kind of goes with the last one.
Okay.
And when I was writing this one, let me just get into it. I reject the idea among some Christians that sex shouldn't be talked about. It shouldn't be researched, explored. They may say like no to sex counseling, sex books, any other research outside of just the couple. And again, guys, hear me out, because I don't want to get on here and start shaming people, start bashing people. This is my perspective, even if I feel passionately about it. Hear me say this. Personally, I've grown so much as a lover to Morgan through the aid of outside help and resources, but please use discretion when choosing those resources. Genuinely, because it can not be good, but I would push and say it can be very good. It can, in fact, totally transform a married couple's love life. And not even in like a selfish thing. Like it's allowing me to become genuinely someone who can love my wife better. And the last thing I'll say, Morgan, I want you to chime in. Some couples, perhaps they have a past that is not great, and maybe they got saved and so forth. They may have to be extra careful in the research they do, and I bless that. I'm not trying to get on here and say everyone should be doing all of this research. Here's what that should look like. If you have a past, or if you just have these really strong convictions to be very careful, do that. I bless that. But I don't think that should be the rule for the majority, personally.
Yeah. Well, and if you're someone who, has a rough past, and so you're like, I don't want to look up things, I don't want to, search or read books, like, then find someone that you trust, that is godly and mature, that you can go to and talk to and get encouragement and advice from, and bring your struggles with your sex or your, desires that you want to, like, grow in sexually with your spouse too. I think that would be really, really beneficial. Everyone should have someone that they can talk to about sex. And obviously you're not going to share all the details with this person, like every single thing, but to be able to ask questions and talk and get advice from, I think is very wise.
So good. And I would ask the people that are like, no, none of that. Do you avoid the Songs of Solomon? And maybe they do. And again, if that's your conviction, I don't even want to read the Songs of Solomon and picture this guy named Solomon doing any intimate acts. It's just my husband and me, or just my wife and me. Okay. But again, let's not put that on everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There we go. Morgan, what do you got for us?
All right. Dun, dun, dun.
Is this a kind of steamy, controversial one?
Yeah.
Okay, before Morgan gives this controversial one, I know what it is. Give this video a thumbs up.
That's what I was going to say.
Give this video a thumbs up. Potential TMI for your DMI. Potential. Help out those algorithms. We appreciate it. But no, I think this is a good one.
All right. This has stirred a lot of controversy up in the YouTube Wizzy world.
The Wizzo.
And I'm not like totally sure why, other than the people who are really mad about it are not necessarily believers.
I think that there's a lot of people who have come over on our sex advice videos who are not believers, and they've just lambasted.
So
me mainly.
To those people who are going to hear this and not like it, if you're not a believer, what's up? Welcome to the channel.
Good to see you guys.
But we understand that you wouldn't get this because it's a biblical concept, and if you're not in the Word of God, you're not going to get it. So anywho, all right, this one is, we reject the piece of advice of you don't owe your spouse anything when it comes to sex. So if you don't want to have sex, you don't have to have sex. And your husband can deal with that, or your wife can get over it. But I have a feeling most of y'all are saying your husband can get over it.
It's mostly aimed at the husband.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So I think that's ridiculous.
Morgan, real quick, I went back and I watched the video. I think I'll just be honest. If you guys want to go back to it, it was what we wish we knew about sex from about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
I mean, the comments on that video are just brutal. But here was one that just kind of is the perfect summation, just short and sweet. Because I think you called this when you said we reject the idea that
you don't owe your spouse
anything. You don't owe your spouse anything. Here was a very common comment that is, they've all moved to the top of the video. You do not owe anyone sex, no matter what. Even if you're married, you don't owe your partner sex. You are also not entitled to sex from your partner. Sex is not a mandatory part of a relationship at all. That's one of the nicer comments, for sure.
So, this really makes the worldly people, the heathens, I'm just going to use that word, I'm sorry. Mad because they don't understand what selfless love is. It's not about it's not about pushing against someone's consent. It's about being selfless from time to time. If you are keeping sex from your husband for weeks on end, even days, like days and days and days, whatever, or months or years, that's incredibly selfish, and that's not a marriage. Like, I don't know what you're doing to do that to your spouse. Husband, too. Like, husbands, if you're keeping sex from your wife, you are sinning, okay? You are going against the entire, image of what God has designed marriage to be.
We would agree that that marriage is so much more than sex.
Definitely.
And there is going to be unique circumstances within marriage where it may, there's unique circumstances. Mm-hmm. But in general, mm-hmm. that should not be the norm, guys.
No.
That should not be the norm. There's a Bible verse just kind of in keeping with this idea of you do not owe your spouse anything, Paul. Or I guess, no, it would be Morgan.
Yeah, me. I don't owe my spouse.
Paul does not, Morgan does not owe you anything, Paul. Mm-hmm. In regards to some comments I made. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5, I think is is beautiful. My namesake, the Apostle Paul. Morgan, would you like to read that?
Yes. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5 says, "The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other, except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer."
And this goes to the husband as well, because I know plenty. There are plenty where the husband, he's just not that into it. It's not something, maybe PORN was part of his life before marriage, and now it's just not quite doing it for him. He's really busy with work. His mind is on other things. Maybe he's still looking at PORN, and he's going weeks and weeks when his wife is wanting it.
Yeah.
Shame on you, bro.
Yeah.
And if it's not the PORN stuff, but it's just simply, I'm just not as into it. My sex drive's not as strong. That might be where you have to practice what this verse is saying and learn how to hopefully become more turned on, which can definitely happen. But also you just might have to lay it down and learn how to compromise with your wife. Yeah. And if you only want it once every month and she wants it once every other day, you may have to compromise and work out like a once a week thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like this is not to confuse you and make you think like you literally can never say no to having sex. Yes, you can. There are many times when I'm just like, "Hey babe, I'm just really not feeling it. I'm not in the right headspace. Can we pick this up tomorrow?" And he's like, "Of course." And it gives me time to just work it out, to just chill out, to veg out, whatever, to go to the Lord in prayer, whatever it might be that I need to do. And then we reconvene the next day or whatever, 2 days later, whatever.
Morgan, real quick, you just said that and I scratched my nose and immediately the thought went through my mind of, are there going to be people watching this that make a video saying, "Look at Paul's."
He is so mad.
Look at Paul's reaction.
He had to cover his scalp.
His body. Well, I was like, is this a tell? Like me scratching my nose while Morgan says this. Is this a tell of like body language experts, therapists?
Well, they think it might be. Yeah. So just. We're talking to believers, okay? So to you guys who don't believe in the Word of God, who have decided to take God's Word and twist it, have made up your own God, like, we're not talking to you guys. You all do whatever the heck you want to do. We're encouraging believers here. Like, we have to remember as believers that we are one, and we have to compromise. You can't be withholding sex for days, weeks, months, years. It's just not healthy. And with the caveat of maybe you're not withholding, or like, okay, I feel like we mention things like this sometimes and people comment of like, well, I have a health condition, so what would you say to this? Or
okay,
I have this kind of issue, or my husband has struggled with this, and whatever. You know, there's ways to work around everything. I feel like we were just talking about exo marriage and how one of them mentioned that they had a couple come to them and they were like, you know, I have a medical condition, so we can't have penetrative sex. But we could have come up with other ways to please one another. Is that okay? And the guy was like, that's incredible. That's amazing.
The guy was like, yeah, bravo to you guys for learning how to please each other.
Yeah.
When you have limitations.
Yeah. So you can figure it out. But you have to actually... One other thing.
Yeah, man, you got a lot to say on this one.
Sorry, this is a big one, I feel like,
wow,
because we get so much pushback from it. It's so goofy.
Woo.
But one other thing is, and again, this is for you believers out there, Paul recently shared a video of this pastor talking on a podcast, and he was like, when you're single or dating...
Oh, that was a good video.
The enemy is like, take your clothes off, take your clothes off, take your clothes off. But when you're married, the enemy is like, put your clothes on, put your clothes on, put your clothes on.
Finding every excuse to keep your clothes on.
Mm-hmm. And that is the enemy, because you better believe, you guys, that the devil knows how powerful a godly couple is when they are on the same page sexually, spiritually, mentally. They are one in all ways, shape, and form. Like, that's a scary sight to see from the enemy. Wow. So... Don't give in. Push back. Fight.
Put her there, kiddo. Morgan, you handle that. That whatever we call this, the rejection of
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
You handle that so well.
Thank you.
I was going to chime in more, but then you just kept hitting it out of the park.
Thank you.
You guys give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed the honest conversation, comment below and let us know. Is there one that we said that was just kind of caught you off guard and maybe you're kind of working through it? Or those of you who feel like, we're maybe a little further along in this, we've been married a good chunk of time, let us know your thoughts and your reaction to some of the things that were shared. I'd love to see those, and I'm excited to engage in the comment section. We love you all, and we will see you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free. If you're in the live chat, we'll be right back.
As you may have noticed, we get very few brand deals, which is why our patrons, the names you see here, are so important.
You guys really are the lifeblood of this ministry. We could not do this without you all. If you believe in this content and you want to partner with us on Patreon, click the link below or just go to patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow.